Ladies and gentlemen, so you've probably seen a fair bit of gameplay about, a lot of Realm of Legends stuff, and I think the question on everybody's mind is this champion actually viable for content? So what I wanted to do today was I wanted to take my 4-star one only up to rank 3, so a 330 4-star champion, well below the requirement for Act 5, and take him in under the full conditions to see if he would be a good option, if he'd be a viable option, whether or not he would work, and kind of what challenges I might encounter. So today we are doing that experiment and seeing, if this champion is going to be worth grinding for a 4-star, and in short, he definitely is, ladies and gentlemen. This video did surprise me today quite a bit. Now, first up with Thing, ideally to have kind of the safest possible time when playing this champion, you do need the champion, you need Hela, Angela, and Heimdall. But one of the very good things is you don't need a 4-star version of any one of those champions. Like a 3-star will do just fine for all 4 of them. So, that's something that is fairly nice there because, getting a full team synergy of 4 stars can be quite taxing. But you will need a 4-star version of Thing or above because the 3-star one does not have the synergy if you want to do some of the stuff that we are doing in today's video. So that yellow jacket matchup is pretty good, man. Pretty good for a rank 3 character. But this is nowhere near some of the craziest stuff you're going to see. Again, this is my first run-in, first test, but I wanted to share because there are some absolutely insane fights where we just butcher and muller the opponent. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to sharing. And also, I thought for the additional element of challenge, not only would we take the final quest in Act 5, but we'd also take the regeneration path, which has a bit of a damage requirement, and some, fully maxed out 4-star champions, they struggle sometimes to get over the vigor damage. So it's cool seeing, a 330 champion being able to kind of compete with that level of damage there. Now, with this setup, the strategy is you go into every single fight and you essentially get hit, you get on the brink of death, and then just when you're about to die, you're going to get healed up to 20% via the Hela synergy, and also gain the indestructible for 6 seconds, and you need to let the opponent hit you as much as possible, because every single hit is going to give you a permanent fury for 100% additional attack. So, like 9 stacks of this, for example, is 900% more attack. Absolutely incredible there. Puts the damage of this champion through the roof, and then you've got additional furies that you can stack on top of it with special attacks. But you can see here, everything dies very, very quickly. And this is, some of my first fights playing around. So yeah, I'm just kind of getting used to it, but we had a lot of overkill on that one, especially with all the special 2 damage there. But as you can see, Green Goblin, he's still dropped really, really fast. It's been 3 minutes. We got Yellow Jacket and Green Goblin down. And this is just, pretty much unheard of for any 4-star champion at rank 3. But it is quite a big commitment if you want to pimp out Thing and kind of play around with the strategy. Because ideally, you kind of do need all the components just for a decent level of safety. But even then, it's very, very high risk as well. But it's a very high risk, high reward strategy, which I quite like. I am a big fan of champions with a bit of an alternative playstyle, and I think with Thing, you do put yourself in a position where you've really only got, 20-25% health, but the reward in terms of the damage you are getting is just so incredibly worth it. You do have to build the team, but to be honest, man, the other 4 champions that you have to bring aren't that bad at all. Like Champion, Hela, Angela, Heimdall are all very, very decent champions. So if you are kind of a big fan of this strategy, Thing could be your kind of like last resort champion that you use right at the end, and then just focus on him and focus on kind of burning the other 4 characters first. So there are maybe some more practical ways to play this if you're looking to be a little bit more efficient than we are being in today's video. Getting through this regeneration nebula, absolutely clobbering, almost a 7k medium there is absolute insanity, boys. I'm such a big fan, such a colossal fan of this champion. Right, so we're going in, I think, for another combo now. I think we're going to do 5 5 combo, and then special 2, tons of damage, tons of overkill there. But I think it's around this point that we start looking a little bit more in detail about what we're trying to do in every single matchup. And one of the things that can be very well utilized is the insanely long stun that kind of stems off the special 2, and you're going to really see this in full action when it comes to the next matchup. But in order to get the stun, you need 15 stacks of rock stacks, so you need to have kind of a few parries or take a few blocked hits, but it's really parries that you want to rely on for this. So we're getting into this Wolverine matchup, and this is one of my favorites here because we're getting absolutely clobbered. The start of the match is one of those things, the longer you let the opponent hit you for, it could be a little bit risky because you could take a direct hit, but the more you get hit, the more furies you're going to get, so that is very, very nice as well. But anyway, we're getting those parries up, trying to get a very, very nicely timed special 2. We get a parry, rock stack, we throw the special 2 there, just a very, very nice 12k non-crit there, and he's got 4.5 seconds stun. So in those 4.5 seconds, you can actually get a total of 14 hits. You can get a 5 combo, then a 4 combo, and then another 5 combo. So there's like quite a lot of reach to kind of end the match there, and we just decimated that 20k Wolverine in 23 hits, man. Absolutely mega there. There are definitely some matchups and scenarios it's kind of worth noting where this strategy isn't going to work out too well, and you're going to see it on the final boss. Basically, if there's any champion that poisons on like their basic attacks, or has poison back like Abomination, Thing is unfortunately not immune to poison, so he can't get around that, and you're just going to take damage and die because you're so low health, so that's not going to work out too well. Anything like Starburst or like fun and interactive degeneration, if there is a lot of fun and interactive damage, Magic, Dormammu, potentially a bit of Mephisto as well, he's just not really going to be a great option for. But I think there are just a really large amount of matchups in terms of champions and content where Thing is going to be really insane for, and I think we are going to see kind of a few people that get this dude as a 4-star fairly early on, manage to get kind of all the 3-star champions required for the synergy, and then kind of use this dude to just absolutely push through to uncollected. And I think this year as well, if you do even manage to get a 4-star version of the character, there's probably going to be certain uncollected bosses where this dude can just absolutely cheese the crap out of, or absolutely mince. So yeah, I'm very interested to see how things shapes up when it comes to 2019 content. So yeah, just a very nice and smooth matchup there against Wolverine X23. Now, in the next matchup, I had something a little bit weird. I wanted to make the commitment to this path, and you're going to see, I don't really know what it is. You're going to see us, like, die, and then die again, and, like, not trigger anything, because I mess up a little bit on this Angela one, and again, this is kind of the big penalty of playing Thing, you're living on the edge. It is very easy to mess up and die, even if you do make one mistake, and having a 4-star rank 3, we've got absolutely no buffer to take a direct hit, or else we're just going to get absolutely flattened by this Angela here. So I'm trying to weigh up the matchup. I think maybe in hindsight, I should have balls this and tried to get 20 stacks of rock stack, go for one more parry, special 2, and then just throw it as hard as I can, because you can get so much damage out in that special 2 and the 14 hits that follow. But somewhere along the line, we are going to mess up here. I think I'm going for a parry in special 2. We just completely chuff it, and it's out the window. And what happens here, I was a little bit surprised by, because I don't really understand what goes on here specifically. Essentially, like, none of the cheat death stuff triggers from any single champion. Like, Angela just immediately bypasses it all and kills us, and she doesn't have any ability accuracy reduction. So yeah, I'm not too sure if that was a bug. So at this point, I'm a little bit confused. I'm like, what just happened? I wasn't really expecting that. So we're going for another level 1 revive. And also, one of the beauties of playing Thing as well is, you don't need to heal him up. You can have him on very low percentage, and he's still going to be an absolute titan of damage to bring back in. So, if you are in content where you're going to be dying like a fair bit, or you're not super confident and you just want to get in, get a little bit of damage done, I think he could have some very interesting uses in that type of content. So here we get the 5 combo. I think we go for a special 2. We got 20 stacks of rock stack. We were going to get the stun there, but we got a 21k crit, which is just absolutely, it's so much, man. It's so much coming from a 4-star rank 3 character. I can't think of like any other champions apart from maybe like ramped up Star-Lord board that have this kind of like potential as a rank 3 4-star champion, even with like 4 team synergies. I just don't know anybody that kind of comes close, because there are, you know, a few champions like Thor Ragnarok that really do rely on it, but I like it, man. I like it. But again, this is, I feel like it's very different. It's a very different playstyle, something that you don't really get with any other champion. You know, no other champion, to the best of my knowledge, is played anything like Thing is. So I'm interested to see if he's going to become like the new Quake in a way, because Quake, you know, she's a little bit alternative, she's a little bit quirky. I guess, you know, they're two very different champions, and they fill kind of two very different voids in terms of utility and what they bring to the table. But I think, you know, there are going to be some people that absolutely love this style of gameplay, and there are going to be some people who, you know, it just doesn't really work for them. It's just not really their cup of tea. But I like, you know, there are more champions, more setups, more playstyles, more stuff to mess about with, and this is probably the most high risk, high reward strategy and setup that I believe exists in Marvel Contest of Champions at the moment. And if I'm wrong, let me know in the comments below, but I can't think of like anything that this is. You know, you invest the whole team on this champion, you have to pretty much die, come back to life, get a massive fury, and then you've got like beyond god tier damage for that duration. So yeah, I don't really know any other champion that's quite like Thing, so I think he's a little bit hard to compare. But obviously, having such a reliance on a lot of these team synergies is not going to make him the best champion in the world, or really even viable for stuff, I would assume, like Alliance Quest offense. He might be alright for map 7 if there are like some shock paths that are a massive pain in the ass, but I think Emma Frost might be the preferred champion for those. Yeah, also Variant going to be really, really good for, but Alliance Quest, Alliance War, with the restrictions on the synergies that you can bring in, I just think he is going to be yeah, a bit impractical to pull off. However, saying that, man, he's a tremendously annoying defender with some of the node combinations that you see in Alliance War, but I love the special 2 on this lad. It feels so satisfying. Look at this 4 Jane Foster. We didn't get any crits, man, but she's pretty much dead, and it feels insane. It feels so ridiculous just to mince through, you know, end of Act 5 champions with a 4-star that doesn't even have any tier 4 basic in. So, you know, when this arena comes around, man, for the beginner bracket, like, it's going to be crazy if you can pick up Thing, and at least a couple of the champions for the synergy. I think something to note synergy-wise as well, I don't think the Heimdall one is really that needed. I think it gets wasted like a fair bit on the character. So yeah, I don't believe he needs the Heimdall one. The Hela and Angela one is really, really nice. The Heimdall one's actually quite nice for a little bit of backup. But if you did need to bring in like some additional utility or a solution for a certain boss, like in this case, Thing actually can't deal with the Final Ultron, as I unfortunately found out, just because the Final Ultron, his basic attacks have a chance to inflict poison, and being like, you know, the final boss, he's really, really stacked up. So if when he's getting attacked into, he gets like a couple of stacks of poison, he's literally just gonna die, and it's like really, really common that this happens, so it's a bit of a pain in the ass. But that was a mighty special too. We smack down the Gambit, we get the super, super long stun as well, we go in, and yeah, there we go, plenty of overkill on that Gambit, so that was absolutely superb. You know, we had a special 1, and also if he wasn't near death, we would have shortened the last combo to throw another 5 combo again. With that 4.5 second stun, providing you got Stupefy, that is 14 hits, man. It is such a mega long stun, but to activate it, you know, you do need those 20 stacks of rock stacks, and that's tremendously important. Now, the next matchup, I was a little bit worried about, because Starkanaut Spider-Man stuff can go maybe a little bit wrong, but I think Thing delivering like so much damage, just kind of out of his pure hits as well, you can really take advantage of like stunnable evade champions to deliver a really, really brutal smackdown, and also having the very, very long stun on the special 2 as well is tremendously helpful for kind of finishing fights and reining them in. So yeah, we've got Starkanaut and Spider-Man here. You can see we've got a good amount of stacks of Fury. We're just getting those parries in play and only attacking into him while stunned, kind of making you know, the maximum advantage when it comes to this fight specifically. So I did 1 medium there, go for the special 2, absolutely slap that man up, and there we go, another 5 combo, man. 14 hits to get down to 20k stock Spider-Man. Whew, it's a great addition. I'm very, very impressed, man. The first member of the Fantastic Four is an absolute titan, but this is where we end the video, essentially, because, again, I tried on the final Ultron, but unfortunately, because he inflicts poison, as you're going to see in a second, he is just not really a viable option in this one. So if you want to take him for this specific path, this specific quest, take out Heimdall, bring in, like, Medusa or Loki, and then you are absolutely sorted. But aside from that, ladies and gentlemen, hopefully you enjoyed the Thing gameplay today. If you want to share some of the potential of this champion with your alliance, feel free to share it online or whatever. Smash that like button if you want. But aside from that, thank you very much for watching. Take care, and I hope that you have an absolutely fantastic day.